Hi chums, right, we're number 33, two large Cara. And if we look at the book, I've had to open the window right here, a bit of traffic, and so I had to open the door because it's up to 25 centigrade or 76 Fahrenheit here. Number 33, Cara, two large, and they're mine, so I'm not expecting a lot again. But we'll see, I said at the start, I'll show you everything, warts and all, and let you see that there are disasters. But I would still say that this is a very worthwhile method for growing potatoes. I wouldn't knock it at all. I do see people knocking it and saying that they've never seen good results online. But this is, if you look back through my videos, you'll know it. This crop this year with these particular spuds, it's the first time I've had a disaster. So at least we know if we can narrow it down to some reason. It's not a case where this. It's not a case where this is typical of what happens on the potato reviews, and it's certainly not going to stop me growing them. Right, here we go. I think we're actually. Oh, look at this. Now these are my own potatoes, my own Cara. So once again, these were better. Oh, let's move me barrel here a bit. These were better looked after than the other ones. So we'll just see how we get on here now. Strategies for this year. I'm not going to grow as much variety this year. I'm going to try and stick to stuff that we actually use. I kind of went mad on Cobra beans this last few years, and I've ended up throwing some out because I found some in the bottom of the freezer from 2011, you know. So that's kind of pointless. You can't eat them at that stage, I suppose, you know. But well, I don't know if I'd like to eat them after that amount of time. But so there's no point having so much stuff that you can't actually even store it, you know. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go for stuff that we like and that is expensive at the time you're buying it in the shop. Now, saying that, the potatoes is really the one thing where that works well, because these work out more economical than buying new potatoes. And the beauty of doing them yourself is you're always eating new potatoes that you know have been grown in sort of chemical free environment, or as chemical free as we can probably get ourselves, you know. So from that point of view, I like them. But the other part, the downside is that when you grow vegetables, you tend to they tend to come to harvest at the same time as the commercial stuff. So you're actually harvesting when they're cheapest in the shops. So that's why I freeze stuff so much, because it means that when the stuff gets expensive in the shops, I then have it in my freezer and can use it. And you know, you see, freezing stuff and using it again, using it later, is absolutely perfect, so long as you remember to blanch it. If you put the vegetables into the freezer without blanching them, they'll just go to mush, you know. So don't do that. The only thing, and don't freeze uncooked potatoes. I tried that and it was a disaster. Look what easy it is, folks. Now I'm going to have to show you what I'm doing here because I'm running out of space. Right, so there's my empty bag. Okay, so we'll dump those ones into the bag just to get them out of the way. I'll take them out in a minute and let you see how many we got, you know. So as I say, I'm going to grow grow stuff that I know I can keep, and whenever it's expensive in the shops, then I'll still have it in the freezer. So where are we at now? Yeah, so that's my strategy for this year. Grow more stuff that I like and less stuff that I don't eat. Now, I'll grow kale again. I am not that keen on kale. I like kale chips, where you dry them off in the oven and kind of crisp them up with a bit of salt and olive oil, and these are lovely. But I don't like kale as a cooked vegetable with my dinner. You know, it's kind of too strong for me, you know. But I will grow it because my cousin Connor uses it as a nutrient source for his running and training. So I will still grow the kale so that Connor can get access to real good organic stuff that he knows he can trust, and he's not firing a whole load of crap into his body, you know. Because he juices the kale and drinks it, and I'm sure, I'll tell you what, you know, he's a harder man than me. I couldn't do it. But he says it's dead on once you get it down. say, I'll tell you what, I was to say, I wouldn't like to be cleaning out his kennel, you know. So, so as I say, I'll do the kale for mostly for Connor, not for me. But it's easy grown and it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and it's prolific. So that'll be kale. But other stuff, I'm going to drop to some stuff. I'm not going to do butter beans anymore. Myself and Rosemary like butter beans, but we don't like 40 pounds of them, you know. And what we were doing is we put them in the freezer and then add them to casseroles and stuff. But we kind of got fed up with it and we didn't use them. And once again, we found butter beans in the freezer from like 2 years ago down at the bottom of the freezer. This is one of the reasons why I bought the upright freezers, because it's easier to work out what you actually have, you know. So that's why we went that direction. And it's just, we must say, there's much less stuff going to waste now because we're able to monitor the stock more easily, if you like. So that's what I'm doing this year. I'm just going to stick to stuff I really want, and stuff that's maybe expensive, like melons, but not melons that you get in the store that are hard and green. Melons that you want nice and ripe and ready to eat from the plant, and those are worth the effort and the money because they're really beautiful, really beautiful. Right, just check a bit all the stuff out. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so what have we got? Get rid of these, get these ones right through. So, just in case you're thinking that you can't grow spuds from your own spuds, you can. And I think now this is what I'm pleased about here is these are planted at exactly the same time from exactly the same stock as I used for the ones that didn't work. But I know that these ones were the ones I looked after. I didn't look after the other ones. I let them get long and spindly. I put them in an area of the garden with not as much light. So I didn't do them any favours. So what I've learned from this is pay attention to what I'm doing and give them the best chance you can. But my excuse is that last spring was just, I just didn't want to know. So that'll change this time. So there we go. I'll get these boys into the bag and see what we can do. These boys here, I would cut those in half or quarters to cook them because they're too big like that. You can bake them, but it takes like so long. It's not worth it, you know. I like that size for baking there. It's just a good big average, you know. And they bake much better. They bake much more easily. Right. So we'll get these into the bag. So that's my strategy for this year. More stuff that I like. That sounds ridiculous to say that, but what I really should be saying is more stuff that I use. And if I like something, if I want something that I like, I'll go and buy it. Asparagus. I've got to like asparagus because I tasted fresh asparagus for the first time in a friend's house and loved it. And actually Grania, the guy Owen is doing the run, his wife Grania, I tasted in their house and it was a bit sort of dubious until I tried it. It was really, really beautiful, really beautiful. And she had it was the prosciutto ham or Parma ham, and she had it wrapped around the asparagus, and it was just delicious, really, really delicious. So, but I wouldn't grow asparagus because it takes so long and it takes so much work and it takes up space and locks up a bed, and I don't like it so much that I want to do that. So as I say, if I go to the shop and I buy it, or I go to a good greengrocers where I know you can get it fresh, that'll do me okay and get as fresh as I can there. Right, so there we are. I'm kind of quite excited about this. Hello. Right, so guess the weight. I'm going to go for £10 here, folks. I'm going to go for £11, right? Be really greedy. £11. Well, look at that, £13.3. That's about 5, 2, 10, 11, 6, around about 6 kilos. Yeah, 6.05 kilos. So, I'm very pleased with that. That has kind of restored my confidence in myself because I was starting to think, oh, what am I doing wrong here? That I'm getting such hold on. I'll tell you what it is, look. I've just found that. I don't think it'll make any difference. Right, it's a big one out of reweighed. So there you go, folks. £13.3 or 6.05 kilos. I'm really pleased with that. And I think that if anybody says you can't grow potatoes in pots, that's kind of knocked it in the head now, because those were the ones that were not doing well. But it turns around, if you treat them right, they do well. Okay? Alright then folks, all the best now. Bye bye.